Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Oluwatobi Yusuf. Please let me know if you are hearing me. If you are hearing me well, please you can just do that with either the raise of an hand, just an emoji, just to be sure you are hearing me clearly. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. You can put. Thanks. So you can put the hands down. So I would go on to share my screen. Okay. Okay. So I would be sharing all of my screen because I would need to navigate between Power Apps and between the what you're going to be doing. Okay. So please let me know if you're seeing my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so yes, my name is Oluwatobi Yusuf, and I'll be taking this section, which is building your powerhouse from data. So in this section, at the end of this section, I believe we should definitely be taking all of this on. So meaning we should have the from the last class, I believe we have some fundamental knowledge of Power Platform. So we just do a little deep dive, and for those that are new, just an overview. Then we also build a simple registration app. So like Kola said, at the end of this section, we should have an application ready. That we shall build an application. Then also just one more add-on to what I'm going to gain today. We'll also learn how to share our app with other people. And some other things which I didn't put here. We'll definitely learn to work with SharePoint a bit because that's where we'll be building our data from. So you'll definitely be touching around, SharePoint, touching around, all of the power apps, all a little into the Power Platform. Okay, so I'm Oluwatobi Yusuf. So let me put this down. I put it down. So let me just move this here for now. Okay, so I'm Oluwatobi Yusuf, and like I said, I've mentioned the topic. I call myself a Power Platform developer. Recently, I changed my title to SME Power Platform, which means subject matter expert. But to be sincere, I'm still learning. And also a low-code advocate. So I advocate for a low-code tool, how we can leverage low-code tool to build powerful applications, automations, chatbots. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing today. Okay. So before I move on, I also wanted to recognize the Power Platform community. We have some of the leaders here. We have Musin, we have Kola Wale. I want to recognize the leaders. So they're the ones who made this possible, or this training possible for all of us to come together and share knowledge. So I don't see myself taking or teaching a class. I see us co-learning together, and each of us, learning much more and building ourselves together. So I would like to just recognize the Power Platform user communities and the leaders for bringing this on. So today, like I said, our agenda, we'll take a deep dive into Power Platform. We'll have more insight on Power Apps. Then we'll definitely move on to our practical section, which is Power Apps. And we're not here to really talk about. We're not here about for presentation. So I'm more here about the practical aspect. So I would not spend much time in the presentation. I'll just do like a short, overview on all of the Power Platform. So yes, some people might not notice what is different about this slide. I called this our second class, so we had our first class. So at the end of this section, I would be sharing the link to this Power Platform presentation I'm doing. I will share the link to us, so I have it on OneDrive. So I'll just share the link so anybody can go on and download it. So please, in case I forget, someone can just try to remind me. But I have the link down. I'll just share it once we are done with the class. I'm not sharing it now so that people are not distracted, going into the presentation. So I'll share it after the class. Okay, so we are doing a deep dive into Power Platform. Now the logo you're seeing is actually a very new logo. Microsoft just released this logo this week, this Saturday. They released it this week. They announced, a new change in Power Platform, which we'll be talking about today. So this is the logo for Power Platform. So Power Platform in itself had not had a logo. We have a logo for the other applications on the Power Platform. So, but this is the new logo for Power Platform, and it's actually wonderful seeing this. Power Platform now has a logo. Okay, so I'm doing a deep dive into Power Platform, and as at last week, so why I decided to just do an overview, even though we did an overview last week, was as at last week. Last 2 weeks rather. Last 2 weeks we had our first class. So I'll share this material. In this material, I also put the link for our previous class video. So the video is on YouTube. So the link is on this presentation, which I will share, and we can also go back and watch for those that miss the class or those that want to refresh their knowledge. Now, as at last week, okay, just an overview of Power Platform. Power Platform is basically a low-code tool. So for those that are new, in case anybody here is new, just before I move on, please, I would like to know if anybody is just here for the first time. So please, if you're here for the first time, please can you just wave or raise your hand? Oh, so Patrick is here for the first time. Anybody else? Okay, and wow, yeah, Olani. Okay, so I'll do an overview then. So now Power Platform, talking about Power Platform is this low-code tool, that yes, it's owned by Microsoft and is for building, low-code or building applications, automating business processes without writing much lines of code or without even writing any line of code. So now, the Power Platform, when you hear Power Platform, it's a family name. It's just like combining, different people, the father, the mother, all of them have family name. So Power Platform is the family name. Now, under Power Platform, as at last week, you had 4 components. And for those that were here last 2 weeks, we had only 4 components, which is Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and Power Virtual Agent. Those were the 4 components we had, or 4 products rather, we had under Power Platform as at last week. And so as at last week, yes, and as at last 2 weeks. But as at this week, Microsoft just announced a release of this new product, which is called the Power Pages, which I've actually brought to you guys. So this is actually the updated, we've updated ourselves. So that's how tech is. So something about tech is that we always update. So you definitely also have to read, make sure you check out updates that come in the tech space. So that's what you're doing. Okay, so now the Power Platform now has 5 different products. We have the Power Apps. Power Apps is for building applications, that is low-code applications, either low-code or no-code. So we'll go into Power Apps later on after this slide. Now for Power Automate, it's used for repetitive processes. Now each time, and there's some things that you do every time. You want to get information of some people, you ask them to fill a form. So all of this can be automated. Instead of asking them to fill a form with paper, you can automate that and give them a form. And maybe that form has to go for approval. So I'll give you one case scenario. One case scenario was I did my IT some years back. That's a couple of years back, and I needed to the onboarding me. I just came to that place to do IT. So when you come in as a new employee, you are meant to do trainings across the HSC, security, HR, and everybody, just through all the departments. Now I have to take this paper from the HR, go and do the training for HSC, then go to the management of HSC to sign. Now go back to HR to confirm that I've done that one, then go to another floor, and now they were on different floors. So I was moving from 9th floor to 8th floor to different, departments. Now, how Power Automate comes to solve this issue is, at that point where I want to go for those trainings, the HR can just push out a form, fill it, and push it out. I can automate that form with Power Automate, so that when I go to the 9th floor and do my training, the person that trains me all just have to click a button on his phone or on his system. Once I'm done with the training, just clicks that button, it automatically approves. The manager approval signature is appended, then it goes back to the HR. HR already sees that this person has done this particular training. Then I go on to another floor without telling anybody. I just go on to another floor, go on for my second training. Once I'm through, the person that trains me, with a button, click of button. That's the functionality Power Automate gives you, or the power for Power Automate gives you. You click a button, it automates, it shows that you've taken that training, it appends the signature, you go to the next person without going back to the HR. So I go to the next floor. Now all of this I've limited that, first of use of paper. Secondly, me stressing myself going through different offices, looking for one manager to sign, maybe it's never around, maybe he traveled, and all of those delaying my onboarding process. So with that, HR don't even need to start jumping through different floors just to make sure this person did training. HR can see from the seat, from his own seat or from my own seat, that this person has done this training just because of all of those approvals. After each of those and going through all of this training and those people approving. So then Power BI, which is actually the most popular in the Power Platform space, is for visualization analytics and for doing visualization of your data and having analytical, basically working, analyzing your data. So that's what Power BI grants you. And Power Virtual Agents for building pure powerful chatbots. So I'm sure a number of us would have seen a chatbot called Leo. That's UBA chatbots. There are different chatbots out there. So chatbots are basically these bots that reply you if you have a question. So instead of HR or customer service answering a question that people keep asking every single time, you have a chatbot that answers you. So yeah, so Power Virtual Agent gives that power to build a chatbot. Now all of this without even writing code or if you're even writing code at all, it's very minimal lines of code. And now with the new product that Microsoft just released this week, we have Power Pages. Now, Power Pages, a bit similar to Power Apps. It's actually going to replace Power Apps Portal for those that know that. But if you don't know that, no need to worry. So basically, Power Pages, why I call it similar to Power Apps. Why Power Apps is for building applications with low code. Now look at Power Pages as building websites with low code. So that's basically what Power Pages is doing. That's the simplest way to explain what Power Pages does. It allows you build websites without writing much lines of code, and definitely people from outside the organization can interact with that website. They can come in, maybe they want to request and fill a form. They can fill a form. There are a lot of powerful things you can do with Power Pages. So basically, these are the 5 products, and in the Power Platform space. So now moving on, so we don't waste time. We also have other features in the Power Platform. Babatunde treated this in detail last 2 weeks. Like I said, I'll share this slide, and at the end of this slide, I have the video embedded. It's on YouTube, so I have the link of the video on this slide and other resources you can use in case you want to learn more ahead of the class. So you can definitely take on that. So now, just to overview, Power AI Builder is for building artificial intelligence capabilities, that's AI capabilities. So all of these, you want to snap something, or you want your application to be able to recognize that this is a bottle, that is a car. So now we have, instead of having to write all of these lines of code, there are AI builders, that is models that Microsoft have done already. All you need to do is just pull it into your app. That's all. No other coding, nothing is required. Just pull it into your app, and with that, you can begin to build applications that can recognize images or that can recognize objects. So that can do all those artificial intelligence capabilities. So that's basically what AI Builder grants to you. Database is basically the data source. That is, when you're building anything, it must sit on the data source. Data is where all the information goes to. Anything you fill into your app is going to somewhere, to a back-end data source. So the normal data source that comes with your Power Platform is called database. But mind you, you don't need to use database, and I'll explain that in a moment. Then connectors. Now, how I explain connectors is the way I'm interacting with everybody here. And we have Teams. Thank God for technology. And we have Teams. I'm interacting with you from my house, and you are listening to me. Now, the way humans interact between themselves is by talking. So the way applications interact between themselves is by having an API. So if you have an API is basically what connects one application to another application. So that API is just basically like that language that allows this application understand the other application, and some of them can interchange information. Now that is basically what connector is. So that API is basically what connector is. Now Microsoft have so made this thing so easy that first off, you can integrate, even there's a Microsoft product Power Platform, you can integrate with any third-party app. I can use it with, let me just remove this. I think I need to minimize this. I don't know that doesn't cause a problem. Okay, so just like you're seeing on my screen, you can see Google service. So I can integrate with third-party apps such as Google. You can say I can integrate with apps such as Twitter. These are not owned by Microsoft, they are other products. So even though Power Platform is a Microsoft product, you can use it outside of Microsoft. So many of you, or many people, already work in a company where they have some licenses to use some of this Power Platform and Power Platform 2. Just that they don't know the capability, they don't know that they can use them. So that's why we are here to train you on how to use some of these applications that already have license to. So, and using this application, like I said, you don't need to start. For example, when you want to connect to other third-party app, you don't need to start writing codes to do all of that, or start wondering that, we are not all Microsoft, we don't use all Microsoft products. How do we now leverage other tools that we use? You can also use a connector. So connector is what connects whatever application you're working with other applications. And all you need to do is just pull that connector into your app or into your flow. So, and that's at the moment, Microsoft have over 700 connectors. As at yesterday, Microsoft has 714 connectors. So as at today, it must have increased. So as at last year, early last year, it was still 400 and something. So you see how it's increasing exponentially. So is someone saying something? I'm hearing a noise. Okay. So now moving on, we want to go into Power Apps and just talk a bit about Power Apps before we go on and do our demo. Now, Power Apps, like I've explained all like I'll still share this slide so you can always read all of this in details. So Power Apps is to build applications, like I said. And one good thing about Power Apps is that your application, if you are building applications now with code, you need to start, if you want to use it for mobile, you have to configure it to mobile. If you want to use it on your web, you have to configure it to web. But Microsoft Power Platform, if you are using Power Apps to build an application, your application can sit on both mobile and tablets. Once you build it, you can sit on both mobile. So you don't have to start configuring it to work on mobile or configuring it to work on tablet. All you need to do is just maybe do some adjustments so that when it sits on mobile, it has a kind of view. But either way, once you build it, it can sit on both mobile and on web. Now, under Power Apps, we have all of these three. So I would only focus on Canvas app and model driven. Power Apps Portal, I won't focus so much on that, but I'll just do an overview on that, and I'll tell you why. So for Canvas app, those are going to be working on today. Canvas app is basically it basically allows you to design as you want. That's why people love Canvas app. To be sincere, Canvas app is my favorite. It allows you to build as you want. That is basically you have the full control as a developer. You can design the app as you want. You can, just gives you that. What you see is what you get look. So meaning the way you design it, that's how your app will come out. So if you design a very beautiful app, you won't come and start seeing a nonsense app at the back. So you will definitely see a nice app. So sorry, I think I'm getting a noise from somebody. Michael, yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, so Canvas app, like I said, allows you build as you want, which I'm going to be doing today. We also have model driven app. Now, model driven app, it sits on database. So for you to build the model driven app, that means you must definitely be using database. And one good thing about model driven app is that it's a no code application, meaning once you build on database, so model driven app is very simple to use. It's just like using your normal Excel to build table, or rather using SharePoint to build your table. So once you build a data source, once you do your table on database, just with some clicks of buttons, model driven app gives you an app. It gives you an app without writing any code. It gives you an app. But for Canvas, you have to do the design on how you want the app to look like. Then for Power Apps Portal, so Power Apps Portal, like I said, it's going to be replaced with Power Pages. That's why I really want to go deep into that. But just an overview of Power Apps Portal, it basically does what Power Apps Pages does. Just that now Microsoft does in this Power Pages, and Power Pages is an upgrade on Power Apps Portal. So basically, just for building web-based application that interacts. That is, all of these applications are basically organizational applications. That is, they sit within an organization. But Power Apps allows you to interact with people outside the organization. So you might have people outside the organization that want to interact with you, but you want to give them some access to be able to use some information, and you want them to send some information and see some information. So that is what this Power Apps Portal to do, so that people from outside the organization can use the application, and at the same time you are monitoring all of the usage, so that they don't, you don't have that data leakage. So that's what Power Apps Portal gives you. Just to go a little into Power model driven apps. Like I said, model driven apps has to sit on database, and it's a very, very powerful database. Data source. So Microsoft are really invested a lot in this data source. You can build an end-to-end application with it, with that database. So like I said, all you need to do to build a model driven app is just go to your data table, which is database, build a table there, just the same way you do table on Excel, you do table on SharePoint, you do table on SQL. Just go to the database and do your table with some clicks there, build it to database, and so build the model driven app. It gives you a table, and so it gives you your app. It gives you your app. So that's how easy it is to work on, and it's a low code, like I said, without writing code. And this is how your model driven apps looks like. So that's why I add this slide here. Like I said, I'll still share it. You can go into it in details. I also want to run through this so that we can have more time for our demo. So like I said, Power Apps Portal is basically a responsive website for you to interact with people outside the organization, so that they can, send information, they can receive information, and also monitor how that information goes in and out of the organization. So that's why you have Power Apps Portal. So just to move into Canvas app. So yeah, this Canvas app. So Canvas app allows you. So like I said, model-driven app sit on database. Power Apps Portal sit on database, but Canvas app can sit on any data source. So Canvas app gives you that flexibility. So a lot of us, we are working in industries where our data is either on Excel, our data is on SQL, our data is on Oracle, our data is on it can be on maybe Azure Data Lake, all of that. Or sorry, Data Lake. So it can be on Azure Data Lake. So our data can sit in anywhere. And the wonderful thing about Canvas app is that it can connect to any of these data sources. That's something about, and it will work. Like you can interact with that data. You can, take change that data. You can, manipulate that data if you want to. So you can manipulate that data with this application. So that's something about Canvas. It allows you to connect to any data source. That's actually one of my favorites. And you can create forms. And like I said, you can do all of this without writing much lines of code. So Canvas app is more like a low code. So you just write little lines of code, just one or two. And we'll build an application today without writing any lines of code, the Canvas app. Then we can now go in and maybe tweak some codes. Okay. Oh, and yeah, it also sits on mobile and web. All of the Power App 2, they all sit on mobile and web, like I said earlier. Okay, so to get started with Canvas app, these are just some requirements, not really necessary, but definitely I know a number of us already use Excel or PowerPoint. So with definitely once you use PowerPoint and Excel, Canvas is something you can always jump on. So, and even if you don't use any of this skill, you can still jump on. You can still jump on it. But with Excel, when I mean Excel, you can work around Excel. You can put in tables. Not that you are coding on Excel. With fundamental knowledge of Excel, you can use Canvas app. With PowerPoint skill, that is, you can do slides, right? Everybody can do slides, so you can use Canvas app. So that's how it's easy for you to come into this Power Platform space. Once you're already used with all of these tools that we use every day, you leverage your Canvas app. Then just another thing I want to mention here, like I said, this Power Apps has over 600 plus data source integration, meaning you don't have to write codes to connect. You can just connect. And now you might be asking that, what if I have a data source that Microsoft don't even know about and I want to connect to it? Now, one good thing is that you can go on and build an API, or you can get a pro developer. So this tool is a local tool, but even a pro developer can also come and work with you. So you can get a pro code developer to build an API for you and just pull the API into your Power Apps and to work. So meaning if you have a data source that Microsoft doesn't know about, you can always build an API for that data source and connect to Canvas app. So and anybody can use that. So and you can integrate with other platforms. So I'll send all of that slide for you to go through it. Okay, so just an overview on Canvas app. You can share document. You can share your app just the same way you share documents, you share pictures. It can work seamlessly. When it says seamless integration, it means it can integrate with other third-party apps like Dynamics, Office 365, Azure, and other even third-party apps that is a data source. It integrates seamlessly. That is without issue. It can extend it, meaning if you have someone that codes and likes to code, you can even extend Power Apps or Canvas app beyond the functionality that it was designed to do, and it can work. So it works with your normal tool. So meaning you don't do any special customization. If you have a camera in your app, once you bring that app to your mobile phone, you don't need to do any configuration. Once you go to that app, it uses your phone camera, your phone GPS, and any of the things you want to use on your phone without any special configuration. The platform has done all of those integration backend. And like I said, what you see is what you get. So meaning if you are a good designer, you definitely have a very nice app. And you can connect to different kind of data source, 600 plus. Then you can build in from data source, so just as the database. So like I said, the database is the data source for Power Platform. So if you want to use that, you can go on and use that. And if you want to use your own data source, you can definitely go on and use the data source. And you can also integrate other application, other tool like AI Builder. So these are just the connectors. And Canvas app is very, very wonderful, very nice. But it works very nice and very okay on its own. But when you integrate it with other applications that like SharePoint, which I'm going to do, you would have a far better solution. When you integrate with other tools, you have a far better solution. And so that's what this place just, this my slide is basically trying to tell you. And this is the comparison between all of the different kinds of apps. So we have Canvas app, we have model-driven, we have Power Apps Portal. Then we also have database in Teams for Teams, meaning you can build your apps within Teams. So you can build apps within Teams. So this is just the configuration. The comparison. I would share this slide, like I said, so that we can all go through all of this, which I won't be able to go through. And yes, let's go into our application. Okay, so yes, before I move on, I just need to check with everybody. Please, how many of us have our Microsoft 365 account, the developer account? I put out this thing last week. So does anybody have a Microsoft 365 developer account? Nobody? You can just wave, do any sign of emoji, so I can know. Okay, so okay, Rashid said yes. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I'll go through what I'm going to do today, and after the class, you can always go back and just do a demo. And if you have any issue, you can always reach out to us. Oh, thank you very much. I can see that one now has okay. So now, and also for those that don't have, don't worry, you won't be left out. I will just show you how you go around that. Now, if you don't have a Microsoft 365 developer account, so one thing I would recommend first is after this presentation, after this section, I will share the slide. Please go through the slide. Then at the end of the slide, the link to the first class is in the slide. So please go and watch that link to the first class. So the person explained much in depth on how to open the account and why you need the account and all of that. But I will just show you what you need to go if you want to open a Microsoft 365 account. So just go to Google and type Microsoft 365 developer account. Sorry, developer, account. Once you click on that, it takes you here. Then once you click on this, you can now then go on to open it. So opening it is just like opening a normal Gmail and all of that. So it's easy to open. So please, after this class, please make sure you go in and open. So I've opened one. So once you open, what do you need to do next? Just go to office.com. So once you open, go to office.com. Then it brings you here. Now, the reason it's bringing me here is because I've logged in. If you've not logged in, your first time clicking on office.com tells you to log in. But consequently, after you've logged in, it won't ask you to log in. To just bring you to your Windows. So that's what's happening here. So I would be going to, so just click here. I hope everybody can see what I'm doing. Okay. Then I will go to all apps. So the reason I'm doing this, you can just go straight to Power Apps. If you want to work with Power Apps, you have other tools here. So okay. So if you want to go to Power Apps, or you want to see everything you have access to, click on all apps. Click on all apps, then click on explore all apps. When you click on explore all apps, so everything you have license to in your developer account, this is it. So like I said, I still recommend everybody to go and watch that last video where they talked in depth. Babatunde talked in depth of what all of this meant. So I think last class Babatunde talked about that. So now this is all the app I have access to as having that my developer account. So today we'll be going on to build a simple application, and it's a registration application. Just if you want to do a simple registration, so we'll do an application that can allow us to register. So I think I'll just close all of this. Okay. So now to build my app, definitely first thing first, I need my data source. And like the topic of our section says, building a Power Apps from data. So we want to build it from data, and from this section we'll be leveraging SharePoint. So I'll click on SharePoint, and it takes me to SharePoint. So it takes me to SharePoint. When you come to SharePoint, you definitely see a default site. So by default, you have a site, and if you don't want that one, if you, like all of this, I customized all of this. So if you don't want that one, you can go on to customize your own site. And to customize your site is just as explanatory as you see it. So you just click on any of the sites. So they're basically similar. So team site is for a site where you want to be communicating. They're basically similar. Some of them still do basically the same thing. But just to explain what the difference. Team site is for a site where when you're working in a team and you need a site where you guys can interact on. So that's why you have team site. Then communication is basically to interact between yourselves and basically when you're working. So basically, like I said, they're similar, very, very similar, very, very similar. So basically, you guys any of them. So there's no limitation using any of them. Okay, so yes, I want to close this. So I already have a site, and like I said by default, you definitely have a communication site. So you can use your communication site. So I actually call this my name. I label this what you're seeing here. So I'll be going to the site. So like I said, you have a default site. So just click on that default site. And now, like I said, I want to build my data. And like I said, it's very, very easy working with all of these too. So building your data is just like building a table on Excel. But now I'm building data on SharePoint. So that's just the difference. So now when you come to your page, you definitely see these tabs. New, discard, page analytics. You see all of these tabs. Then you click on new, then click on lists. So maybe moving on, we'll go in depth into all these other things later on. But for the sake of this class, these are focused. We just want to build a simple table and work with these two. And I'll be building a blank. So now, if you have your data in Excel, I want to move it to SharePoint. And someone might be asking, why do I need to move it to SharePoint? Now, if you have your data in Excel, it's definitely just sitting in Excel in your system. So maybe you want to move it to SharePoint so that it can interact, so that other people can see that data, interact with that data. So that's why one of the times we move our data to SharePoint. But like I said, moving forward, we'll definitely have classes where we'll talk in depth on how all of this works. Okay, so I'll be building an app, a blank list, like an app from blank. So to do that, click on blank list. So it asks for so I don't want a site navigation. So that site navigation will show the list here. To show it here, but I don't like seeing it here, so I'll remove that. Then I will call this Power Platform Business Series registration. Yeah. I'm correct with my spelling. Okay, registration list. Then I'll click on create. So it brings us to this page. So whichever SharePoint you're working with, it definitely brings it to this page, and that's sorry. Definitely brings it to this page. Then we can now go on to create our different columns. So just like I said, it's just similar to working in Excel. It's very, very similar to working in Excel. So first, I would like to rename this. So I don't like this being title. So maybe I want to give it first name. Then you can add another column. Now, they are seeing different kind of column type. So I think Babatunde also talked about this in the last class. Different kind of type of data type, single line text, multiple line text. So single line text, writing just a simple line. Person just expect to write a simple line of text. Multiple line, he wants to write like maybe describe or say like a long story. So multiple line allows for that. The location, you want to know that particular person's location, number, phone number. This is a yes or no column. Maybe you want person to respond with a yes or no. Person, if the person is within the organization, you can use the person column. Date and time, definitely know the date and time. Choice. So if you have maybe you want person to pick between different choices, you can definitely use a choice column. We'll actually be using all of these. So I think I will explain as I'm using them. So for the next one, I've put first name. So I want to put last name. So for last name is a single line of text. Why? Because someone's last name cannot be. The single line of text allows 256 text. 256 text. So I don't think anybody in this world has a text that is more than 256. So I'll click on single line of text. Then it brings this column for me, and I'll put last name. That's all. Like that's all I need to do. Then save. So you see that will come up. Then what do I need again for my registration app? Gender. Now gender can either be male or female. So I would go for a choice column. So like I said, choice column is to pick between different choices. So when I click on choice column, I'll just configure this one. Sorry, mistakenly expanded that. So I'll just configure it. So I'll turn this one to male. Male. So let me put gender there. Gender, male, female. Then maybe I want to put prefer not to see or something. Or rather, I can, and maybe I don't want under third option. I can just close it. and I have my two choice. Oh, what if I have like 10 options? I can always add new choice. I can add another choice. I can add another choice as much as you want. So it's not limited to that 3 that you see. So that's what I wanted to show you with this. So I'll just put male and female, and I'll save this. Please, can anybody suggest in the registration slip, what do we have again? I think I've talked about first name, last name, gender. Any suggestion? You can unmute your mic and just, if you have any suggestion, what else do I need in a
address?
Thank you very much. Yeah, address. So I want address, and address can be quite long. Like, yes, some address might not be long. My address is not that long, but I've seen someone that wrote like address that is very, very long. So I'll give multiple line of text for that. So I'll put address. So just like I said, multiple line of text allows for 256. So I'll put multiple line of text for that. Okay, so we have address. What again? Is this good enough? Name, gender, address. Huh? Yeah, thank you. So I didn't get that last one. I got email address. Let me just see. Oh, date of birth. Thank you. Okay, so let me just put email. And date of birth. Oh, sorry. Okay. So date of birth is a date, right? So I'll put dates. Sorry, date of birth. Yeah. Date of birth. So I chose a date and time column. So now because I don't want, and this is how easy it is for you to use this tool. Now because I just want the date, I don't want the time. I put no. But in a situation where you want the dates and you want the time, just click here, click on this. It includes date.
Date of place, not date of birth.
Thank you very much. Date of birth. Sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you. So that shows that. Wow. Thank you very much for that. So just what I was just saying, please also understand this or just say this also. So you want to include time, but I don't want to include time. So I think we are good with this. Yeah, we don't need much information. We just need something simple. Okay. So definitely the next thing is to build our application. But just permit me. I like doing something when I want to build my application, and it's something I also advise people to do. I like putting in some demo data here so that when you build your app, you will see how the app looks like. So I'll just put in information here. So if you want to add an information, how do you add the information? You can add directly from here. So I'll just add like 2 columns of information. So for the first one, let me just use my name. I don't have issue with that. Yusuf, choice column, mail, address. Platform, business, series. Just copying that, pasting that. Then, sorry, please don't steal my email address. Then date of birth, definitely. I'll just put okay. So let me just pick 4th. Okay. So then save. So you see that has populated. Wait, this, and I can always edit it. So I think I made the mistake in my, yeah, I made the mistake here. So .com. Then you can, okay. Okay, so it has changed. Another way to add information, which I do show people on SharePoint, but you don't need to do all of this. But why I do this is because I like to see how my app will look like when I build it, right? So I'll just edit in grid mode. So this is another way to add another data here. So I'll just maybe I want to put somebody, input Raphael. Nobody's being Adibayo. That's the name that came to mind. And okay, so you can see this is the choice column. I see it brought out this. So let me just use female for this. Then I'll paste this. Then let me just use demo. And then this is a date. So let me just pick touch and exit, and you see it says my data for me, and I have 2 columns. Now I have 2. I can now go on and do what I want to do. Now I want to build my app. Now Power Apps is going to help you, like Microsoft. Okay, yeah. Power Apps is going to help you build the application, and that's what about to witness. Now, how do I build my application? Just click on this on this integrate rather. Click on integrate. So please, can you see what? Please, I hope everybody's following at this point. Click on integrate. Click on Power Apps. Then click on create an app. Then I'll give our app a name. So let's give it Power Platform Business Series Registration App. Then we'll click on create. And now what happens? Power Apps goes on to build this app from your data, because you already have data there. It goes on to build that data. It goes on to build an application for you based on that data, and that is what it's actually doing at the moment. And it comes with 3 screens. The screen for viewing the data, a screen for writing into your data, a screen for deleting, then a screen to view your data. So the screen for writing, the screen for reading is viewing your data, then the screen to visualize every single thing you have. So that is actually coming up, and without even writing any line of code, and we'd have an application. So that's what we're about to witness, and that's what Power Apps is doing for you. So just have to give it some minutes. It doesn't take long, and your app will be ready. So while this is okay, I think it should be up pretty soon. So I was thinking I could take any question, maybe just one, why this is coming on, but it should be up pretty soon. Okay, so this is up. So let me just. So this is our application. You already have an application. So you can just go on and if you want to share. So basically, this is our application, and like I said, 3 screens. You have the browse screen, detail screen, and edit screen. So let me just play this for you so you see how it works. So we can see this screen, right? This is our first screen. So now I did this. This is the screen. This is the Raphael Adebayo. Then this is Toby Yusuf. That's the second data. Once I click on this is the read screen. So I see that this is Raphael. Last name is Toby. So now why this is title is because in our data source, if you remember, I changed that title to first name. So we would go back and do some customization and correct that to first name in our Power Apps. So because from default, that is title. That's why at your Power Apps level, you're also seeing title here, and we can always edit that. Now, Raphael Adebayo sounds like a guy's name, right? And I can also edit my data. I can edit it and I can save. So now let's test this functionality, and then also I can go back. I can go to the second one, Yusuf Toby. I can edit this. So now let's go to the first one. Raphael Adebayo sounds like a guy's name to me. So I would edit this and change this to male. Then I would also go back and by default, all your application comes with attachment. So in case you need to add document, you need to configure. But since we don't need attachment, I will delete this, and I will show you how to do that in a minute. So I've changed Adebayo's to male, and let me just change his date of birth to 2021, and let me change it to June, to 16th of June. Yeah, 16th of June 2021. Then I would save this. Then I will also do something else. Sorry, I clicked that twice. I'll save it and I'll go back and I'll do something else. I want to create a new list. This create new item. I want to create a new name. So this is supposed to be my first name. So then put Tokwe Alabi. Then this gender, she's a female. Address, I think I still have that copied. Yes. Email. At gmail.com. Then put our date of birth to be something else. Then I would also save this. So it has saved, and you can automatically see how it comes here. Now let's go to our data source and see whether that also happens in our data source. Please, can you see? Well, we have, you see how, okay, so let me just refresh this. Okay, so I think I didn't save that change I made for Raphael. Yes, I didn't save the change I made for Raphael. So I didn't save this. So let's go back and edit this. Yeah, so you can see how that June has changed, but I think I didn't change this. So let me change this to female. and I would save it now. Yes, so it's changed to female. Then let me go to my data source, and you will see how. Just need to refresh. So it might take a while. So automatically it actually refresh, but let me just refresh, and you can see automatically it has changed to female. So this is now interacting with the data source. So that's how easy it is to use your Canvas app. Now, what are we going to do? Let's just do some kind of manual changes here. So first off, I don't want this to be. I don't want my attachment. So attachment is not showing here. Attachment is showing on this other screen. So if I don't want my attachment to show, what do I do? I'll just click on it and click on delete, and that's all. And I'll just go to file, I'll go to save, and I've saved my app. Then I'll publish my app, publish this version. Okay, so now if I go back and play this, and I go to that screen, you'll see how I won't see that attachment again. So you can see our screen is actually just easy to use. If I go to any, then one other thing I want to change that title. I don't like how that title is also showing. So I'm right clicking, sorry. So if you want to change, so let me just click on don't share again. Right clicking, sorry. Okay, if you want to change this to title, so why I want to edit this, or why I did some of this stuff I did is because I want you to see that you can also make changes to what the app, the app is built by default for you, but you don't want, maybe you want to make some changes to how the app looks like. You can definitely do that, and that's what you're going to do now. We don't want this to be title, we want that to be first name. We can go to advanced and unlock. So it's locked by default. So you can go to advanced and unlock that. When I unlock that, you can see data field title. I will change this to first name. And sorry, I didn't. Oh, sorry. I changed something else. Sorry. Hope I've not changed. I changed something. What I'm supposed to change is not that. Sorry about that. Okay, not. But I want this to be this. So what I'm supposed to change here is the display name, which is text. So you can see display name. This parent.display name. What does it mean? It means it's going to get the parent. Parent is what? The SharePoint, and it's showing me the display name. But no, I don't want it to show me title because the display name of that SharePoint by default was title. I configured it to first name, so I want to change that to first name. So I'll just delete that and I'll put first name. And you see how that has changed to first name. I will go back and do that same change on my edit screen, and I will change this. So first thing, you click on that box. So first off, I went to that screen. So let me just go to the edit screen, click on that box, unlock it, then go to the display name, then just change that. Control A and first name. So you can see how that has also changed to first name. Okay, so what else do you want to do? On this front page, I don't like how this is showing. I want this to show my first name, and I also want it to show my last name. So how do I merge it together? We have this ampersand. So with ampersand, I can merge that together, and I'll just put this item that is getting the item, that particular item, dot the last name. So now all of these formulas, as we move forward, I will explain better how it works. So now what I just did is that basically if you click on this Adebayo, you can see the formula there, this item dot last name. All I just need is I just came to merge it with this first name. So now, but you can see that in our display now, there's no space. We want to add a space. So how do we add a space? It's very, very simple. Just in between here, we just put, in between here, we just put a quote with a space, a quote, and an ampersand. So now all of this is easy to learn. This is just like using Excel. So if you use Excel, definitely would have come across this. And if you don't know about this, don't worry. This is something that you learn very well as you use. So it's first of all, see how it's built up for us without even having any issue, and how we are able to just manipulate the formulas easily. So I just went to pick the formula that was here, which is Adebayo. When I click on Adebayo, this item dot last name, I just picked that formula and I came here and I pasted the formula. So ampersand is just to join them. then this is just to put a space in between them. So it's quite easy to use. And maybe I don't want to be seeing female here. I want to be seeing Adebayo's, what information do we capture? We captured is location. So let's assume I want to be seeing Adebayo's location here. So all I just need to do is just this item dot put your location. And one good thing about Power Apps is, what's the location we used? Address, sorry. One good thing about Power Apps is that as I type in, it brings out the formula you need to use. Once you click on that, you see how this comes out. And I think I'm comfortable with this. One other thing I like to do is I like to change the theme. I don't like this blue theme. That would come by default. So I think I like something around this color. So I'll change this theme, and it's going to be dark. You might not see what I'm showing you. So let me pick something else. Let me pick something like this. Yeah. Okay. Let me see this one. Sorry. So you can see how you can try different colors. Yeah. I think this is a bit good. Oh, let me just put this one. Yeah. No, I think I like this one. So don't mind me. I always like to customize my app. Okay, so all I need to do when I'm through with this is just go to File. I go to Save. It saves the app. You publish. So why do you need to publish? You know, I've made a change, meaning I've upgraded my app. So if I've shared this app to people using the former app, but if I want them to start using the new app, you click on Publish. So if you publish, anybody that's using this app will see the new version of the app. And if you want to share your app, just go to File. Sorry. If you want to share your app, go to File, go to click on Share. Then you can share your app to anybody in your organization. So I think I have two people, I think I have 3 people in my demo organization, which are people I created inside my environment. So I can share my app to any of them. I think one bears Oluwaseyi. Actually, that's my sister. So I think so I can also share to anybody. And I can do 2 things. I can make them co-owner. If I want them to be co-owner, that means I want the person to edit the app, but the person cannot delete and change the owner, but the person can edit the app and work on the app. But I want the person to only use my app. So you see I will grant Sheyi co-owner. Sheyi, yeah, so I'll give her co-owner access. So meaning Sheyi can go and edit this app and make changes. Then I would give somebody, I think I have a default user called, is it Carrie? Ben, yes, I think I have some bearing Ben, yeah. So this is a random person I just created in my environment. And I can share my app. So, but if you notice I didn't click that co-owner, what happens? You see how I'm a owner, Sheyi is the co-owner, Ben is just a user, meaning Ben can only use my app, but cannot edit and go into that developer access. That is, he cannot, sorry, when I go back, he cannot see this. Ben can't see this. He can only edit. So I'll show you what Ben is seeing. So basically, this is our app here. And we shall be able to do some kind of little demonstration and changes around our app. We can also edit our app and we can make changes to our app. But definitely, next class we would be working more on, building some of all these tools from scratch. And now to show you how your app looks like to your user, just go to powerapps.com. So I'll just navigate to make.powerapps.com. So because people might have issue with remembering the name, so you can go to make.powerapps.com. So this is where you see Power Apps by default. But people might have issues, keeping all of the name of the URL. Once you go to office.com, just click on Power Apps. So when you click on Power Apps, it takes you to Power Apps environment. So just to check that, yeah, we have to be default. I will just go to my application. Then, sorry, I've played around a lot of apps. So I think one of the apps we built now was, is this. So once I click on this, so a user will be seeing this. So meaning this is what you just embed on your website. So once your user click on this is what your user will be seeing. So this is what the user will be seeing. The user can now go in and create a new app. The person can fill it up. Let me put one of my boss's name. Sorry, I don't want to make a mistake in the spelling. Okay. How could I? Sorry, I don't know. I forgot your second name. Yeah. So this is one of my boss's name. Is actually here.
Hi, Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I will just have to cut you short. Yeah. So it's
just
me
to.
and I'm making.
Thank you very much. Okay, so just to round up. So just to show you guys how the app looks like, and if I refresh my data source, you will see how this has shown. Then just to close up on this, Kola, you can definitely, everybody has this. Just have a good network, have a valid account. So like I said, go through the video. So now, if you want to get started, if you want to learn, all of these documentations are there to help you. Now, this first class, this Power Platform Business Series beginner class 1, this is the one that the person in the last class took. So he spoke in depth on all of the fundamentals I was just giving an overview on. So I would advise you go to this and click on this, and it will explain much more. Then also, it will also show you how you can go in and create your account. Thank you very much. And if you want to connect with me, I have my portfolio here. So you can just click on this and you'll see my portfolio. So now I would go on. Thank you very much. So I would share the link now to this PowerPoint. Thank you, Kola. Yeah, the floor is yours.
Awesome indeed. Thank you very much for impacting us and everyone on the call. Thank you very much. It's been an amazing one. So I would like to also appreciate everyone on the call for taking our time to join this session. I want to believe we've learned something new, and also we are looking forward to getting you also on call next week. Upper week. Yeah. So links and everything that needs to be known will be communicated. We'd like to appreciate you. Sorry, we spent 3 minutes more than the